3, 2, 1.
And it's game time. ConX5 here, 2K4 CTF. This is going to be our MLUT Week 4 match, I believe, between Team SaSSy here in blue and playing with Flare, aka Woo, over here on red. We already mentioned they've got a sub for now. That's Facial at the bottom over there. He's going to be subbing essentially for Met, as he's on the way home, and they wanted to go ahead and get this match underway. So both teams agreed to have a sub in that case. Flags are moving quickly, however, without any power-ups, it's very difficult to make much of a run. So early runs in this map, typically just to keep the defense honest. We saw the amp taken there. Not sure who grabbed it. I think they went down already. Nope, it's going to be Toggle grabbing this one. And it looks like he's going to take that back on defense. So SaSSy already with two people in the red flag room, trying to make a move here. There's a few different ways to play offense on this map. A lot of times you're going to just play off of what the defense does. That is, if the defense decides to push one person back into the flag room and then keep another one up further forward in base, you don't necessarily need to bring multiple people into the flag room. However, if teams play really, really compressed back towards their stand, it's going to take 2 or 3 people in there to get that flag moving and fight your way out of base. Ultimately, the biggest fights are going to be exiting the base and getting back into base. There's a few maps like that we've been playing in UT, however, this is one of the toughest because there's only one route into and out of base with the flag. There's another path that you can translocate through, however, you obviously can't run the flag through there, so the tight quarters and the very, very predictable routes mean that there's not much room for speed running or a whole lot of finesse in this map. There's a couple little tricky jumps you can do, but they're more for the sake of being unpredictable than necessarily being fast. However, there is so many power-ups in this map, 200 armors, 2 kegs, and the amp, and those are going to be extremely important if any of these teams want to make anything happen, because given how much damage that you're going to take as a flag carrier on this map, having that extra keg, even an extra 50 armor, is often the difference between getting anywhere and getting nowhere. You can already see blue team having trouble getting that flag going anywhere. And I don't think we've seen either flag leave the flag room yet. No surprise we're seeing Zeos on defense here. His keg is up and he hasn't gone to take it though. That's a little bit of a surprise. As he drops back and takes out that flag carrier instantly. So Toggle and Zeos both very, very well versed in November. It was a map that's kind of been played on and off throughout the history of 2K4 CTF. So that's going to be a very difficult defense to crack, and you're probably going to need 3 people. A lot of times the runs that really count on this map are one of 2 things. It's either getting a whole bunch of power-ups together, often having an amp timed for cover to get in there. So we're going to watch Mintek try to do some damage on DV. DV being Dark Virus, another extremely experienced defender on this map, someone who's played this game long enough. We see a red keg come up. Oh, you see the blue flag carrier, Mintek, going straight for it, knowing that if you can steal the enemy's power-ups and turn them against them, it can be a huge deal in this map, because that extra 100 health that goes to defenders in that keg is extremely important for them just being able to out-frag any number of attackers that come in there. GS3K here going to try to fight his way out, not even using that shield gun yet. He'll probably pull it up as he runs through the door. There you go. Gets out to mid. Falls in the water. That's pretty much a death sentence on this map. However, there's no red around to shoot him really, so he's going to get a chance to get back in his front door. Red is already cutting him off. He falls back in the water, still alive somehow. There's a couple nifty ways you can get across this sub, but no matter how you do it, you're going to have the red team on the opposite end as he sees him, ready to shoot him in the face. However, he jumps right around him. He's back in position. Now there's no red in between him and his flag. He can jump back right now and caps it. And blue team taking an early lead on this map, as GS3K able to sort of dance his way right through them. There were 3 red just kind of looking at him, and they were all ready to take shots at him, but nobody was able to get ahead and get that flag moving. Often on this map, you're going to have to push your defense forward to help get your flag carrier back in through your front door. That usually means that even if you leave someone back on your flag stand, it's going to be in danger of being grabbed behind you. Nobody was able to do that for red, and blue just kind of tiptoed back into their base. I saw him jumping right through 3 of the red team and making it all the way back to his stand. So And a map where we often see 1-0 games, sometimes really long overtimes. We've already seen one quick cap, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Red. And it may open this game up a bit, because we already know Red now is going to have to play more aggressive. They can't play conservatively. They can't play not to lose. Oh, a telefrag coming in as they were close to getting their own back to their own side of the sub. Let's watch Chowie play some defense for a little bit. But as I said, being down one on this map, you can't afford to play conservatively at all, which means that you're going to stretch your offense, you're going to push them further forward, and you're going to rely on your defense to be more on an island. They're going to be basically just playing 2 against the 3 attackers for the other team. And that will lend itself to both flags moving more often. So who knows, maybe we'll see an exciting high-scoring game in November instead of the low-scoring fare that we often see. Let's go catch up with this flag as it gets out to mid. We're going to see a pickup there. Very important to get pickups in mid here. This is one of those maps where you're never going to be able to solo it from flag to flag. You're almost always going to end up passing it along. So it's very important to have your communication down and to have delegation and know whose responsibility is to be able to get these pickups, and that way you don't end up with your entire team standing there shooting combos at the flag while the other team returns it. We see blue flag room here looking kind of bare. The red team has had a little bit of trouble syncing up their offense. They're able to come in, they're fighting Chowie, they're keeping him down, on one-on-one battles, and they're keeping him from getting too stacked. But ultimately, you're going to need to overwhelm this defense, especially when you've got Chowie and Zeos. It's going to be very tricky to get much pressure on. Let's see if I can get Zeos up here, since we've already watched Chowie. It looks like they're basically playing a forward and back split. That is to say, Chowie is mostly hanging back in the flag room, whereas Zeos is being a little more mobile, pushing forward. So you're probably going to see Chowie mostly taking the keg, and Zeos mostly taking the 100. That's the advantage to using that split, is that you can have your forward defender patrol that 100 area and keep it away from the other team. And the downside of it is your offense is going to get that 100 armor a little bit less, unless, of course, your defender that's over there can do a good job of letting them know when it's up and trying to pass it on to them. Zeus goes ahead and dissolves himself in slime. Not content to actually suicide, he has to take the fancy way out. We see Red cutting off that flag carrier in mid. See both flags about to move into mid, and neither one really can make it very far. So coming up on the halfway point of this map, still 1-0. Oh, we see Killer able to steal that keg, taking a ton of damage. Minte getting blasted trying to leave his base. So again, very, very few flags getting out to mid so far. But as Red is still down, oh, here we go though. It's GS3K actually outrunning Red, getting out to mid. They turn around to get the cutoff, and his cover just isn't in position. A lot of times on this map, if you're cover, you may sit back and try to fight the enemy defense back in their own base to give your flag carrier time to run out to mid. But once they get ahead of you, you often need to suicide back. You're usually better off suiciding and getting back into the action that way than trying to play catch-up with your translocator out the whole time. They catch up with Dark Virus here, playing a little defense. Curious to see him going to cut off blue. They have a strong presence there in the front of red base, so they're going to get out to mid once again. So all of a sudden, blue team getting out to mid, passing their own flag though. So Facial's in his own door. He's 3 blue on him though. He needs cover. You see the attempted grab right there. They were in good position, but he just got body blocked trying to get that pickup. So both teams getting the flag all the way across mid there. Neither one able to convert. But we're definitely seeing these flags moving a lot more now as we approach this 11-minute mark than they did in the first few minutes of the game. And again, that could be just another symptom of Red being down so early in the game. They can't afford to be dropping back much, so they have to put an extra emphasis on being aggressive, which leaves their flag more vulnerable, but will also try to get the other flag moving a little bit more. So we may see a lot of these fights in mid, like we saw a little bit earlier, where both flags are in mid and everyone's just kind of battling it out in a sub. And normally right around now I'd like to start giving you updates on when the amps are taken and what the timings are of them, but given how many power-ups there are on this map, it's going to be impossible for me to keep track of, and all of my co-casters are actually playing this game. They actually have facial, subbing in there. So Neo not able to make it tonight. So running this one solo, not going to be able to give you much of an update on that. I'll try to catch an app next time I get a chance. Let me go ahead, and who is defending with Dark Virus? I believe it's Imwalt. I'd be curious to see what formation Red is using for the defense. If they're going to use a forward to back split, kind of like Blue is doing, or if they're going to be running more of a left and right, where one person takes the flak area and the other one takes shock. You see Imwalt just trying to clear the front of his base. Amp comes in on him, so GS3K going on a killing spree with that Amp. They're getting their flag carry out to mid, Orange going down, but they're ready for that pickup. Only 10 health though, so anything that hits him is going to take him down. And Red's all over him. Another pickup though. You see Zeo's pushing all the way out to mid. They basically have 4 offense right now. That's only going to leave one back on the flag. That's Chowie all by himself. As we see a telefrag. Not able to get that return though. They're just spiraling around in circles, and they finally get it. But yeah, kind of interesting there. You see trying to get hold of... Where is he? There's Imwalt. I'm going to give him some FaceTime. But kind of interesting there, like I said, you saw Zeus pushing all the way out his front door to try to guide and escort that flag carrier back home. It'll be interesting to see if Red catches onto that and sends people in the backside to get those flags moving as they're coming back in their base. And in fact, they're coming back in their base again. Mintek heading towards his flag. They've got the red flag carrier in all kinds of trouble. He's going to be able to get back to his base. One person in between him and the flag. Facial's looking real lonely right now, though. Able to get that clutch kill. They do get that pickup, though, and wow, they're back on the stand. Red was just inches away. Nice effort there, though. Able to prolong that fight and try to get his team time to get that return, or at least a grab. Didn't work out, though, especially with the restrictions around, or the constricted area around that flag stand. It's really kind of tricky to get a quality grab in at the last second, because if you get body blocked, you're just going to fall right back into that slime, die instantly, and the flag will auto-return. His killer goes down into the drink, trying to get back up in that sub. He even tries to piston wall dodge. Doesn't work. He'll get back up there eventually. Still has 3 health. Blue has done no damage to him as he's crossing back over to his 100 armor, praying it's up. It's not. Goes down. Really needed some cover to help him out there and be ready for a pickup. Just didn't happen. And we're down to almost 7 minutes left, and Red Team is starting to get a little bit desperate here. This is their map pick, and they need to start picking up some power-ups. We got Facial going out, and what I'm noticing is the red flag carriers rarely have very much health or armor. They're coming in at basically your base health, 100 health most of the time. And on this map, you really want to have some of your power-ups going to your offense. I don't know if their defense is taking all their in-base or if they're just taking a bunch of damage on the way. But you see GS3K once again. Is that a hat trick for him? See if I can get over to him. No, that's a second cap. I guess the other one, yeah, the other one was passed along. But 2 caps now for GS3K. Maybe he can pull a hat trick for us. With 6.5 minutes left. Still plenty of time. If Red Team can make an adjustment, maybe push 2 mid and 2 offense, there's still plenty of time to overcommit and really try to push the issue here. But as it is so far, it's just been all SaSSy. Although, to be fair, SaSSy has been comfortably in the lead for most of their matches in this season. So, kind of impressed with the fact that they've done it on many different types of maps as well. It will be interesting to see what type of map they choose, because this was a map choice again by Killer's team. I think trying to compensate for the fact that they have more of a old school sort of fragging team playing today. We have Met and FailSauce missing. FailSauce being their primary flag runner, more of a finesse cheesy type runner. So this is the kind of map that they definitely would not pick with their normal lineup. I think they were trying to play more to their strengths. I don't necessarily know that they were expecting SaSSy to be weak on this map. But if nothing else, they might have been thinking that if they can hold it to a low-scoring game, maybe they can sneak one across and try to win like a 1-0 game. However, obviously not the case, as Blue pulled ahead very early, and that's going to make it really, really difficult on Red. You can see the net difference right there. SaSSy is by far the stronger fragging team on paper in this match. So not surprised to see such positive nets, being one-sided here. However, usually you would overcome that by using, a really aggressive, deceptive offense. And, that's the kind of roster that Killer typically has, but with Met and FailSauce out, it's going to change the dynamic for him. So I think that's really what hurt him today, or at least hurt him on this map. We'll see what happens next map. But down 3-0, under 5 minutes left. It's hypothetically, mathematically, still possible, but extremely unlikely on a map this tight and where it's just difficult to get these flags moving. We'll go ahead and watch this blue flag moving around. Killer's been grabbing non-stop, but again, he rarely has armor or extra health coming in here, and I don't know if that's a testament to Blue's defense damaging him on the way in, or if they just haven't been getting these pickups. But there's the hat trick for GS3K. So 4 caps for SaSSy, running away with this one with 4 minutes left. Red might as well play 5 offense, maybe 4 complete offense, and 1 on their flag stand. But they're just having all kinds of trouble getting back out to mid. And you see Killer once again with 76 health, down to 6 health from the lightning gun shot, just going nowhere. As you see Zeos going dominating, and Red team just really having trouble syncing up. However, do keep in mind they're not playing with their starting lineup. In fact, they're playing with the ringer, so it's not surprising to see them having some issues syncing up and lack of chemistry, given that these aren't really the people that have played together most of the time. They've certainly never played with this lineup because Facial's not in their normal lineup, so it's not really shocking to see them having these issues. As you see Mintek taking the scuba route, but getting caught out there as soon as he came underneath. And it looks like Red has pretty much all pushed up here. Desperately trying to get something going. And unstoppable for Zeos. I guess we might as well watch him finish this off, see if we can go any further with this. Did it just end? Maybe not. So we'll watch him and see if he can get to a godlike spree here, as Blue's offense is giving up just absolutely nothing. I think Red had... Oh, there's the end of it. Kiss of death. Sorry, Zeos. But yeah, Blue's defense is completely dominating. I mean, Red had a couple of flags back into their front door, and that's about it. I mean, those are certainly good opportunities on November, but you see those come up and really turn into just big return fights fairly often. So to keep their flag in their base as much as they have has been really impressive here. Red has had many grabs, but on this map, flag grabs don't really mean so much. It's the quality grabs. It's getting the flag out to mid, getting it back into your base especially. That's really where the tricky part comes in. That's when you look at something like flag conversion. That is to say, not just how many grabs turn into caps, but how many grabs that you get across the map, back into your base that turn into caps. And if we're going by that, I'm not even sure Red has had the blue flag significantly far into their base the entire match. They've just been doing a really good job keeping it under wraps. Even when they go down, even when they're taking damage from every direction, they're able to do enough damage to the red flag carriers that by the time they catch back up to them, they're just easy pickings. And it's a testament to, obviously the defense for Blue, but I think we also saw them really making use of this formation. That is, putting Zeos up front so that he can push out and help guide his flag carriers home. But also, you've seen him taking a lot of these 100 armors. If you have a defender playing that shock side, they're often going to back up into the flag room. And if you have another one playing that flak side, going up to the window, then back into the flag room, many times that'll leave them further back. And while it's it's good to stay conservative and keep the flag room clean, you'll also lose out on a bunch of those 100 armors. And yeah, some of them will go to your offense, but many of them will go to the enemy's offense as well. So I think that was a good call by them. Obviously, it worked out for them. And it kept a lot of those 100 armors in their own team's hands and definitely allowed their defense to get set up and comfortable. I'll go ahead and pour through some of these stats, as anything that happens in these last 30 seconds are going to be pretty much academic. But a pretty good spattering. Toggle actually getting the majority of the double damages. Otherwise, it looks like they went kind of all over the place.
9, 8,
Looks like GS3K actually focused on running the flag more. We saw him with a hat trick. Surprised to see him not get more amps, but obviously that amp didn't make a huge difference for playing with Flare, as they were doing a good job of controlling it, but just couldn't make anything out of it. And so, yeah, SaSSy dominating from beginning to end. We've seen them do that in matches before. That was Killer's map pick. That was map 1. We'll see what they decide to do for map 2 on SaSSy's side.